Hi there, it's Forest Friday. I am Val. Welcome to my weekly series, and what a difference a couple of weeks make. The last time I couldn't actually record because of the snow and the ice and the wind chill factors, and today it hit 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I have been working on a lot of garden work because before you know it, the grass and the plants and the weeds and everything thinks that it's summer and it's ready to bloom. Um, so I was trying to take advantage of that temperature, and here I am. The sun is starting to set, and I am about to do my donkey dinner errands. So I wanted to come back down here and check out the water flow so you can see that I'm actually standing back down here. And I just find it fascinating thinking about what a watershed is, right? It's like filtering um, the rain. It's like a big, giant coffee filter or something. And to look at how the rocks and the deposits of things kind of just get whooshed down here and stuck in certain places, and then the water goes around it, and how forceful that water probably is at the time. So last week there was actually enough water from the snow melting and the rain that we had that I actually couldn't get all the way down here. So let's take a look at some of the rocks. You can kind of see where I'm standing. Like there's an elevation here, and the colors, right? Still really damp. There's a lot of debris and trash, and you can kind of see like the indentation, giant wave of water pushing all these rocks, digging all these rocks up and pushing this way. And yeah, like just dropping when the water level goes down, dropping the trees that it's been bringing down. And you can kind of see here just like how that's kind of smoothed out. And we spend some time over here, and normally this is like well, not normally because it changes every single time I come down here, but the water line, and sometimes this gets like dug out here. So I have had a summer where this is all a swimming hole, and then it gets filled back in again. This guy's pretty good and stuck, but you can see how the debris comes down. And this is an interesting space, right? Because like I was saying, it's kind of a horseshoe section here where the water just is coming around and it hits all these rocks, right? And then it doesn't have any place to go. So it's a really interesting part of the river. And the last couple times I mentioned the word riparian, which I have since learned and think that that's interesting. So if that's interesting to you, hopefully you found this video. Yeah, so I haven't been down here since last week. And again, there's some trash and debris and stuff like that. But the next time that the water level rises, the natural debris will float away if I haven't had a chance to get down here with a trash bag. Let's go take a look at how you can just see how whooshing the water comes and drops all these giant logs and some cool mushrooms here. It's pretty damp. This guy's big. I don't have a big chainsaw to do much with any of this. All right, so let's just take a sit over here, and the water's flowing pretty good. I will set us down. Let's go over here. I've got just a couple of short poems to read. I'm reading from this until I read it all. I have been out here at times where I've been able to walk out and sit on this downed tree. Oh, look at this. There's some great mushrooms there too. So in this video series, I really try to encourage you to take away some lessons of um, going slow, notice what you're noticing, maybe take a different route, unplug, don't wear headphones, and try not to listen to too much piped in things in certain parts of your day so that you can just, be aware of stuff. And the sky today is so blue. I didn't even think that there were clouds. Alrighty. There's a good flow over there. Okay, this first one is called Aware. It is by Denise Levertov, 1923 to 1997. When I found the door, I found the vine leaves speaking among themselves in abundant whispers. My presence made them hush their green breath, embarrassed the way humans stand up, buttoning their jackets, acting as if they were leaving anyway, as if the conversation had ended just before you arrived. I liked the glimpse I had, though, of their obscure gestures. I liked the sound of such private voices. Next time, I'll move like cautious sunlight, open the door by fractions, eavesdrop peacefully. This one is called Our Two Silences by Anna Swer, 1909 to 1984. Silence flows into me and out of me, washing my past away. I am pure already, waiting for you. Bring me your silence. They will doze off, nestled in each other's arms, our two silences. That was translated from the Polish by Susla, I can't see it, Milos and Leonard Nathan. This one's a Chinese poem translated by David Hinton by Wei Yinglu, 737 to 1792, or 737 to 792. It's called In the Depths of West Mountain, Visiting the Master. A disciple for years at Twin Stream, what brings you to these mountains? Great luminaries keep the world at war, but your mind flowing water idleness. You swept tigers from forests and now sit alone, utter stillness, guarding this. Frontier, we double silence, wander narrow passes where clouds are born. There are so many things that are demanding our attention. You get caught up in scrolling. Maybe we're just so exhausted that that's the only thing left to do. I've mentioned in the previous videos that I am certified as a forest therapy guide. This technically is not a forest therapy official walk, but there are major benefits for spending time in a natural surroundings, as well as having any sort of plants around you, gardening, that type of thing. So if you have a place that you can go that maybe becomes your special spot. And remember, this is a spot that we like to look at, those white mushrooms on that log. If you want to make a comment of anything that you notice while we're doing this, I'm going to point the video down so that you can watch how the ground color changes. You can still notice how the water has rushed through here. It's sucked up all the little rocks and deposits it in different places. We'll see if I can actually find a way convenient to get out. I had to kind of climb through some bushes to get down here. It smells like seawater today. I feel like I'm by the ocean. There are opportunities to find fossils down here and rocks that are of different geology than you might expect. I don't know if it's coming through the video, but the way the water is colored, it's like really cool teal over there. I'm going to put my jacket on here. The temperature is changing pretty quickly as I walk. I love to collect flat rocks, but I don't really want to carry anything else back up today. Look at the way that the waves are flowing here. It's a very pretty teal blue mixed with brown. Still pops of green. Didn't get washed away. I'll call this the shoreline. I don't know what else to call it. You know, this kind of changes as well. You can see all these weeds have been knocked over and hopefully be washed away before summertime comes. Okay, so I climbed to get over here. I kind of climbed through this mess because I couldn't find a spot to walk. But look at all this stuff that I couldn't walk through before. And now it's all, fallen over. So yeah, this was free flowing if you look at last week's video. Let's see if I can find a spot here. Cool rocks. I always like to bring something back from my walks down here. Yeah, the water definitely flowed quickly this way. You can see how it dug out right there. And as I've mentioned before, this tree here used to have exposed roots, and the power of these, heavier winter water has brought all these rocks and filled this back in again. This guy's been broken for some time. Where you see fresh mud, that used to be rocks. And I love looking at all of the moss things that are, this is very pink. It's getting ready to burst. This tree really has done a good job of holding itself into the ground. It's become a home for all right. So we're going to walk up to the bluff through this section. This log has been here for quite some time, but you can kind of see how it got wedged in here. That one flood that I told you about, I think 2021, it was probably 20 feet higher than where I'm standing right now. This guy, I think, is new, though, with all those mushrooms there. I do have an artist residency program on my property, so I have artists and writers. Sometimes I do installations. If you want to check that out, there are pictures of one installation that was here. The rock is still there. That had rocks and bamboo, but it was meant to not stay long. Look at this guy. All right, so if you know of anyone who maybe lives in a different geographic region that might find this natural landscape interesting, please share it with them. If you know anyone that has accessibility issues and maybe couldn't necessarily walk down something like this, please share it with them. The sun and the trees up above. It's definitely a stairmaster. Get to the top of the bluff. These guys are still hanging on. Almost there. Ferns are happy. you notice how the color of the ground changes? We're in what's called the Western Highland Rim, portion of Middle Tennessee. This is the foothills of Appalachia. And this top layer called chert, basically I think like sandstone that's really kind of fallen apart. Then there's sandstone and limestone. Catch my breath. Mushroom tree over there. With the warmer temperatures, the trees might start to think that it's time to sprout. I don't know if you can see. It's a leaf curled up, ready for its grand debut. Technically, it's winter, and that kind of is associated with drabness. A friend of mine in New York is talking about how gray it is right now. And the color palette is just, to me, just so pretty. It's like muted, really interesting tones of the crayon box. And look at the reflection of the big tree. All right, well, just wanted to say thank you for joining me. Subscribe would be amazing. And today is February 2nd, 2024. 2/2/2024. Those are pretty cool numbers, even numbers. I have some other exciting things that I'm working on, and I will be, focusing on kind of documenting and then editing and then posting. But I'm just a one person, and I've got donkeys to feed at least 3 times a day, chickens, all that jazz. But I do like to say, if you could, you would. What would that be? And I'll leave you with that. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.